Tonight the summer sun sets on a secret that can't stay quiet. A ring glints, a heartbeat races, and before the waves fall silent, someone asks the question that could change everything. You can feel it, right? That hush before the storm. The beach looks calm, but nothing is calm anymore. Footprints trail across the sand like the past trying to catch up, and the air is thick with the words no one is brave enough to say out loud. This is the finale, episode 12, where gentle summer light meets a truth too bright to look at. A door opens with a soft click. A breath is held. The world shrinks to a pair of hands, to a small velvet box, to a choice that has been building with every glance, every fight, every quiet ride home in the dark. We have watched these hearts grow up here on this shoreline, in this house, under these skies, and now they stand on the edge of a moment that does not care about plans, or timing, or what was supposed to happen. It only cares about now. You know, the triangle that held all season like a fragile shell? It is about to crack. Somewhere between the waves and the porch light, a voice will shake, a promise will form, and the future will lean forward to listen. Listen to that music under your skin. The soft strings turning sharp at the edges like sand when the tide pulls back. You can see flashes, a sun-washed memory, a midnight tear, a laugh caught on a breath that almost became a kiss. There were signs, weren't there? A glance that lingered too long. A fight that hid a fear. A hand that did not want to let go. We thought the summer would mend what winter broke, but summer only melts the walls that hide the truth. And when truth melts, it spills. Tonight it spills everywhere. Someone has carried a secret hope inside their pocket like a stone heavy, smooth and warm from touch, and now that hope is burning a hole through the fabric. The box opens. The world slows. Even the gulls go quiet, as if they know words this big demand silence. It isn't just romance. It's a turn in the road. It's the door you choose when you know the house behind you will never look the same again. Feel the stakes rise with every tick of the clock. The past is a reel of summer mornings and rain-soaked nights, of doors slammed and arms around shaking shoulders. The present is one breath away from a vow that will redraw every line on the map. If love is a tide, then this is the rip current. It does not ask, it takes. It drags you out to where the water is deep and clear and a little bit scary, and there you have to decide whether to swim toward what you want or let fear carry you back to shore. The camera won't show a face, but you don't need it. You know these voices? You know the way one of them holds words like they might break, and the way the other throws words like stones across a lake, hoping they skip? You know the third voice that speaks soft but sure, the one that sounds like home? Tonight, one of those voices will say the hardest, simple words in the world. Will you? And that's why you're here, leaning closer, breath tight, waiting for a sign. Was the last smile too bright to be casual? Did the midnight call mean more than a check-in? Was the fight by the kitchen sink a smokescreen hiding a softer truth? The clues sit like shells along the shoreline, and when you pick them up, they spell a message you can't unsee. Hearts were never meant to stay neat. They're messy, loud, stubborn things. They want what they want. And in the glow of a porch light with waves clapping slow and steady, a plan forms that feels both crazy and right. The box closes. The box opens. The ring shines like a tiny sun. Somewhere, someone whispers a name, and somewhere, someone else realizes they are 1 second away from losing everything or gaining more than they ever dreamed. This is the moment that turns a summer into a story people will talk about for years. This is the cut in the trailer that makes you shout at your screen. Hold on, look closer. Because when the question lands, it won't only change two people. It will send shockwaves through every bond, every promise, every dream that ever grew in this beach town. The finale doesn't ask for patience. It demands attention. Keep your eyes on the ring, your ear on the breath before the words, and your heart where it has always been, caught between the tide coming in and the tide going out. Tonight, everything breaks. Tonight, everything begins. Asterisk, the story has been building like a tide. Quiet at first, then louder, stronger, impossible to ignore. Every step, every choice, every word has led us here, to this exact point in the summer. To understand how we reached the edge of this storm, we have to step back through the days and nights that brought us here. Think back to when the summer began with a sense of hope. The sun was softer then, the air carried promises instead of doubts. Belly walked onto that beach believing she could still hold on to pieces of her childhood while reaching for something new. She thought she could have both the safety of what she knew and the thrill of what she wanted. But summers have a way of speeding up the clock. And when the waves began to crash louder, so did the voices around her. Conrad, distant but drawn in, carrying shadows heavier than he would admit. Jeremiah, open-hearted but restless, trying to prove that his love was enough. Belly, standing in the middle, trying to be fair, but knowing that love is never fair. Do you remember the porch conversations lit by string lights? The kind where laughter hides the truth and silence says more than words ever could? Those moments weren't small. They were cracks in the glass, showing us that someone would have to make a choice. And choices are cruel. They don't come gently. They come like thunder, the season twisted tighter with each episode. A late-night drive where a song came on and nobody spoke, but everyone felt the words. A fight at the pool where truth spilled out like water, impossible to gather back up. A confession whispered like a secret prayer, heard by someone who wasn't meant to hear it. These weren't just scenes. They were sparks. And sparks don't last quietly. They burn, they ignite, and sooner or later, they set fire to everything. Conrad has been the storm cloud. You can see it in his eyes, the way he stares at the horizon as if waiting for something he's afraid to say out loud. His love is sharp, complicated, a story that began years ago and refuses to fade. Every word from him carries weight, like it's balancing between what he wants and what he fears he might lose forever. Jeremiah, in contrast, is the sunlight breaking through. Bright, warm, determined. He loves loudly, without hiding, without hesitation. His heart is open, and in that openness lies both strength and danger. Because what happens when you give everything and it still might not be enough? And Belly, she has been caught in the pull of both tides. One tide steady and safe, the other unpredictable but thrilling. The season has tested her, torn her between who she was and who she is becoming. She thought she could delay the choice, stretch summer long enough to avoid the breaking point. But summer never waits. It slips through fingers, it rushes past. And now the clock has no more time left to give. Each argument wasn't just about the moment, it was about everything beneath it. About years of glances, promises, and heartbreaks that never healed properly. When they argued about chores, they weren't arguing about chores. They were arguing about love, about fear, about who would stay and who would leave when the season ended. When they laughed in the kitchen, it wasn't just laughter. It was a plea to hold on to something that felt like it was slipping away. Now, as we stand on the shore of episode 12, all of it comes flooding back. Every midnight call, every jealous glance, every what if that haunted their silences. The summer that was supposed to be simple has become a battlefield of choices, a map of emotions where every road collides at the same point. And at that point waits a box, a ring, a question. The buildup has not been random. It has been fate weaving its threads tighter and tighter, until even the characters themselves cannot pull away. Conrad's hesitation, Jeremiah's persistence, Belly's confusion, it was all leading to this. To a porch, to a quiet night, to the sound of waves crashing like applause or warning. To one voice breaking the silence with words that cannot be taken back. Because love, in the end, doesn't ask for patience. It asks for courage. And now, in the glow of this finale, someone is ready to gamble it all. The summer has turned from pretty to heavy, from light to electric, and with every memory pressing against their hearts, the question forms. The build-up is over. The moment is here. This is not just the end of a season. It's the end of waiting, the end of pretending. Every thread of the story has been tied into a knot, and tonight someone dares to cut it loose. The shocking proposal doesn't come from nowhere, it comes from everything. From the laughter, the tears, the anger, the longing, the history, the hope. It comes from the summer itself, demanding to be remembered forever. And so the stage is set, the waves, the lights, the ring, the voices. The triangle that held steady all this time is about to tip, and when it does, nothing will ever be the same again. Asterisk, the night does not shout, it whispers. And in that whisper lives the moment we have all been waiting for. The camera does not need faces. It needs the tremble of hands, the sound of breath catching, the stillness of a heartbeat louder than words. The shocking proposal doesn't arrive like lightning, sudden and violent. It arrives like a tide, slow at first, brushing against the edges of everything we thought we knew. And then before you realize it pulls you under, picture it, the house lights dim. Only the porch lamp burns, its glow warm against the darkness. The air carries the salt of the ocean, the same ocean that has seen every kiss, every tear, every broken promise. A shadow steps forward, careful, hesitant, but sure enough that the sand crunches with weight. The other shadow waits, unaware of what is about to unfold. A box presses against the pocket like it has been burning there all season, aching to be opened. This isn't a rehearsed moment. It's messy, raw, trembling. Words don't line up neatly, they stumble, they trip, they fight to get out. But love is like that. It never arrives polished. It arrives real dot and then the box. A hand slips into a pocket and everything freezes. The waves seem to hush, the cicadas stop their chorus, even the night itself leans in to watch. A velvet square, small but infinite, rests in a palm. This is the weight of all the summers before, the weight of every smile and every silence. Fingers tremble as the lid lifts and the ring catches the porch light, a tiny fire set against the night. This isn't just jewelry. It is a symbol, a declaration, a dare. To propose here, in this place, at this time, is to scream against the fear of endings. The voice cracks. The words spill. Not a speech, not a performance, but a confession disguised as a question. I don't want this summer to end without knowing you'll stay with me. Simple, raw, shattering, in those few words. Years of doubt and longing collapse into one fragile plea. This isn't just about choosing love, it's about choosing a future. A forever. The twist is not simply that someone proposes. The twist is who. Because all season long we have watched lines blur, loyalties shift, hearts break, and heal only to break again. We thought we knew who would kneel, who would ask, who would risk it all. But the finale defies expectation. It chooses the one who shouldn't have, the one we didn't think was ready, the one whose love we may have underestimated. That is what makes the air crackle. Not just the question, but the shock of where it came from. And here lies the chaos, the ripple effect that will spread far beyond this porch. One person will be stunned, frozen between shock and joy. Another, watching from the shadows, will feel their entire world collapse. Because proposals don't happen in a vacuum. They are earthquakes, shaking the ground beneath everyone connected to the heart at its center. And this one? This one tears the triangle apart. Think of the consequences. A yes means rewriting every bond, every promise, every late-night conversation that hinted at something else. A no means shattering a heart that dared to hope, breaking someone who built their courage piece by piece just to ask this question. And in either case, the third corner of the triangle, silent, watching, wounded, cannot escape the fallout. This is not just one love story reaching a peak. It's three lives colliding in a single moment. The proposal twist is more than romance, it's rebellion. It challenges the idea of waiting for the perfect time. It challenges the idea of careful choices. It screams that love is messy and urgent and terrifying. That sometimes, to hold on to what matters most, you have to leap without a safety net. And in this finale, someone leaps. Someone chooses vulnerability over pride, courage over fear, action over silence. The ring glitters. The question hangs in the air, heavy, sharp, impossible to ignore. The silence that follows feels endless, and in that silence, everything shifts. Belly's breath catches. Conrad's eyes harden. Jaramir's pulse races. Or maybe it's the other way around. Because the beauty of this moment is in its uncertainty. The trailer shows us enough to burn it into our minds, but never enough to give away the answer. Who asked? Who froze? Who broke? That is the brilliance of the twist. What matters is that the question has been asked. The line has been crossed. The safe ground is gone. From here, there is only forward. The proposal is not just a plot twist, it is a detonator. And when the dust clears, the summer they thought they knew will be gone forever, replaced by something rawer, deeper, and far more dangerous. The trailer doesn't end with an answer. It ends with the ring still glowing in the porch light, the waves crashing louder, and a single whispered gasp. The screen cuts to black. The words echo, "Will you?" And the audience is left breathless. Because the summer is no longer just pretty, it is explosive. It is unforgettable. It is the summer that changes everything. Asterisk, the proposal has been spoken. The ring has been revealed, and yet the silence after those words feels louder than the waves crashing against the shore. The air is thick, waiting for an answer that never comes. And that's the brilliance of this finale. It leaves us on the edge, dangling between hope and heartbreak, staring at a moment that refuses to resolve. This is not just another episode. This is the turning point, the cliff where one story ends and another begins. The trailer doesn't give us the luxury of answers. Instead, it teases us with fragments, flashes of faces we can't fully see. Voices half-whispered, scenes cut before they finish. We glimpse a tear rolling down a cheek, but we don't know if it's joy or devastation. We hear a voice say, "I never thought it would be you," but the scene cuts before we know to whom it was spoken. We see the ring glinting one last time, then a door slamming, then footsteps on sand running, chasing, fleeing. The music builds and builds, strings tightening like a rope ready to snap, drums pounding like a heartbeat we've been holding too long. The finale makes us question everything we thought we knew about this love triangle, because the proposal is not just a romantic twist, it's a domino. Once tipped, everything else falls. Who said yes? Who said no? Who stood frozen in silence, unable to answer? The trailer hints, but it doesn't confirm. And that is the cruel, beautiful magic of it. We are left imagining the fallout. If she accepts, then a brother's heart shatters in the background. If she refuses, the bond between all three may never heal. If she hesitates, the summer itself, the one place that held them together, fractures under the weight of unspoken words, and that's what makes this ending so powerful. It's not a happy ever after or a goodbye. It's both. It's the promise of something new wrapped in the wreckage of what was. It's the thrill of possibility mixed with the ache of loss. The shocking proposal doesn't just change one relationship. It changes them all. Friends become strangers. Strangers become rivals. Rivals become something too tangled for words. The finale doesn't just ask a question of Belly, Conrad, and Jeremiah. It asks a question of us: who should she choose and why? The trailer makes sure we know that nothing will ever return to how it was. We see Belly staring out at the ocean, her reflection fractured in the waves. We hear Conrad's voice, low and rough, saying, "If this is the end, I need you to know." Before the screen cuts, we hear Jeremiah laugh, but it's a laugh that sounds like it's holding back tears. We see a car leaving the driveway, taillights fading into the night. And finally, we see the box again, open, empty, before the screen fades to black. This isn't just a finale. This is a fracture. This is the moment fans will argue about for months, dissecting every frame, every shadow, every whispered line. This is the scene that turns a simple summer story into legend. The shocking proposal finale twist isn't designed to satisfy, it's designed to haunt. It's designed to make us wonder what's next, to leave us restless, impatient, desperate for answers the trailer refuses to give, and that's why you cannot look away. You cannot skip this episode, you cannot pretend you'll catch up later, because this finale is the kind you experience in real time, with your heart in your throat and your stomach twisted in knots. This is the episode where the love triangle stops being a game and becomes a decision that will echo through every season to come. The voiceover grows softer now, almost like a secret being whispered across the sand. This isn't just a finale. This is the summer's final heartbeat. A pause, then sharper. Don't miss the moment that changes everything. The screen flashes the words. The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3, Episode 12. The Shocking Proposal Finale Twist. And as the trailer fades to black, only one thing remains: the sound of a heartbeat, steady, loud, insistent. Boom, boom, then silence. The message is clear. This isn't just an ending. It's a beginning wrapped in fire. The question has been asked. The answer is waiting, and the world of these characters will never be the same. The finale doesn't just close a chapter, it rips the book in half and dares us to keep reading. So prepare yourself. The finale isn't gentle. It isn't soft. It doesn't give you what you expect. It gives you what will break you, haunt you, thrill you. This is the night the summer turns from pretty to unforgettable. This is the night you will never forget.